off we go.
And Greg to start. Luke, what do we have in the opening hands here?
So I'm trying to work out whose opening hand is whose.
The tattoos
Greg.
are the giveaway.
Yeah, okay, good point. So, Greg has Ash Blossom, Infinite Impertinence, Fallen Lockbird, Candina, and the Sky Striker spell.
The Hornet Bit.
Hornet Bit, yeah. And then on the other side, Kali is opened with Fallen Lockbird, as we've seen being played
Hornet
there.
Bit, sorry. Yeah.
Mobilize, Terraforming, Pot of Desires, and Scapegoat.
Drawn Lockbird incredibly strong in this format, with its ability to just simply end the turn of so many of the top level decks.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is unlike the other hand traps, it doesn't really take cards away from your opponent. It's just taking away their active plays. So you kind of have to make something happen after you use Drawn Lockbird. Like having a blank turn after that is just not. It's just not ideal, I guess, would be the coverage way for it. So Kali playing around the Drawn Lockbird Trickstar Reincarnation combo that could come out of Greg by setting all of his cards before he tries to resolve his searching card, so that if Greg does flip the Reincarnation Drawn Lockbird combo, Kali's going to get to keep all of his all the cards he's set to continue playing. So here we're going to see Trickstar Reincarnation. We'll see how Kali decides to respond. And there's a draw, and then we're going to see the Hornet Drones being changed from hand. So just a Scapegoat being lost from Kali. Interesting considering how strong Scapegoat is in this format that he chose to not set that one first, which would perhaps imply that he has a second one already face down.
Yep. So, for those at home who have not necessarily been following the meta that closely, explain to us a little bit about why this deck is so strong.
So, of all the decks in the competitive format right now, Sky Strikers has the strongest grind game, and by this I mean, in terms of it making card-for-card exchanges with your opponent, it is just simply the best deck in the format. Generally speaking, even the other high-level decks are trading 2 of their cards against every one Sky Striker card. The drawback to the Sky Striker deck is that it doesn't really have a fast way of winning the game. So that it generally takes quite a few turns to beat you. So your opponent has the opportunity while you're in the middle of trying to set up to steal the game away from you. Now the interesting part about the Trickstar engine is it lets you rapidly increase how fast you can close games. If you look at it, things like Trickstar Light Stage, that's can be 4,000 damage just off of the 1 card activation when you get the attack from Candina and then a Life Burst if that's the line you're going down. So you can push forward a lot of damage, and you're also adding a lot of you have so much consistency in your deck with all of your search cards, and you also have a lot of back row harassing with Light Stage, just being able to lock down the back rows. And here we're going to be seeing Greg trying to set up a big turn of attacks here. There's, I didn't catch how many spell cards are in the graveyard because Shizuku's lowering stuff. But yeah, we're going to see an attack go through. Kali probably going to be springing Scapegoats if he had it.
Yeah.
If he has another one at some point during these attacks.
Yeah,
but he wants to conserve as many goats as possible, so he's only likely to flip it if he's potentially facing lethal damage here.
So as we just discussed about Lycoris being able to just
this is huge.
Drop down and still be able to put a huge amount of damage in.
Yeah, and then you've got like all of the extra pings that the Trickstars do, which can just close out games. And there's Light Stage in play as well, so all of these damage is getting increased.
Yeah, that's a big decrease. Kali's life points there, almost half already gone. Well, over half of his life points gone already.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing Nightmare Phoenix, which is going to be able to clear out one of the back row cards from Kali. Now, the Phoenix we might see this weekend, the Greedy Phoenix, where if you hit Waking the Dragon, you just, there we go, there's a Scapegoat being forced eventually, as we suspected. And Kali banished the other one in his hand, it was most likely that he'd set one. Because Scapegoat being such a powerful card in the Trickstar deck, it's not something you just want to give up, especially when you have the opportunity to preserve it. So as I was saying before with the Nightmare Phoenix, we'll see if anybody gets punished going for a Greedy Phoenix when they hit Waking the Dragon and all of a sudden Ultimate Falcon comes down, Ultimate Falcon, which demands a response, and not many decks can actually out it unless you decide to dedicate space in your extra deck to Utopia Kaiser, which lets you play a little bit more reckless, but then you do have to give up a slot for it. But likely not to come up in this because neither player is actually playing Waking the Dragon, so we'll see if that comes up over the weekend.
We can hope so, because that would be an epic moment.
Oh yeah, that's a highlight for anyone who gets that off. And we're going to be seeing Terraforming, going for a Sky Stage. So Kali surviving a draw and lock combo. Oh, but he's
just happens to have a second Terraforming.
And so yeah, you can see Greg clenching his fist a little bit. This is good for Kali, so he's actually managed to now get the turn with all of his Scapegoat tokens intact. A reasonable life total, and also resolving his light state.
Yeah, so he's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, Kali can definitely make some stuff happen here. We saw Greg getting himself a token, expecting a big attack here.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually this was one of the big things for Trickstars when they first came out. A lot of people were screaming the Joel Lockford combo was super overpowered when they first came out, and then players kind of figured you can actually play around it by setting your cards before you try and commit to the search. I guess one of the biggest difficulties is, with this format is how dependent everyone is on searching to get going, because you can't afford to, because of how fast the Trickstar deck can come at you. You don't really want to be not searching to try and play around it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you set 3 search cards and one of them gets drawn, you still can't use those cards, even if they do have the reincarnation. So you have to hope that you don't get destroyed in that turn. So
yeah, but it's an interesting deck, Trickstars. I think when it first came out, people weren't hugely fond of it, and then now obviously we're seeing it being added with a different engine.
Yeah, I mean, the super interesting thing about it is that Trickstars had a very obvious weakness, is that their attack ceiling was 1800, and essentially if you played anything bigger than that 1800, you were at risk of losing the game, just because they had to commit cards to destroying those monsters, and you had things like Spiral Super Agent, who wasn't going to be targeted because they have the field spell up, and
result. Yeah, and we even saw Eater of Millions being played in Trickstars just to make that happen.
Yeah, Eater of Millions is probably less effective in formats where people are playing Infinite Impermanence. Both players actually opting to play that in their main deck. It's slightly different ratios. Kali's playing 2, whereas Greg is playing 3. And then the interesting thing with the Trickstar deck is, now that the OTK with Firewall Dragon has become very well known, actually that Super Agent that was causing you so many problems becomes a win condition that your opponent left in attack mode, with Lilybell constantly getting the direct attacks.
So Kali making huge use of his Scapegoat tokens here.
Yep, and he's also nicely using his opponent's Phoenix in the extra monster zone to allow him to make additional link summons.
Yeah, a bit of a freebie that in that one.
Let's see where he goes up to next. Two monsters with different names for Nightmare Goblin. Yes, the Phoenix is pointing that way. Sorry, I remember Cerberus points the other way because of our sight on camera. So you get an extra normal summon.
So yeah, Nightmare Goblin's been a huge.
And here we go. We might be seeing the Lilybell Firewall OTK coming up right here, because the Nightmare Phoenix is in attack mode.
So
it's a link monster, obviously. In attack mode.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to get to see one of the common combos of this deck from the get-go here.
Yeah, and also we saw the Pot Desires and actually banished the Lilybell from the deck. I actually don't know if he searched that a little bit earlier, to be fair. So yeah, here we go. Firewall Dragon. And yeah, Greg's going to pick up his cards.
What a
he
shame.
sees it happening. Greg, on the other hand, I really like the way his deck is set up for facing this mirror match. He has 3 copies of Mind Crush in the side deck, which is extremely strong. He has Ghost Bell in Haunted Mansion, which you can use to stop the Firewall OTK loop, because you can negate the Lilybell, I believe, when it tries to return a card.
Yeah, Ghost Bell. Let me have a look at Ghost Bell.
You can just get the text. I think you can, but it's like, it feels
Pretty sure you can.
Yeah, and you can also use it against the Reincarnation, trying to bring back Trickstars from the graveyard.
Yeah,
Try and do a match.
if you're trying to add a card.
Yeah,
but I was pretty sure that Ghost Bell just stopped every interaction with the graveyard.
Yeah, this card design is actually really interesting. when we were working on this one, because one of the space it was competing with was DD Crow.
Yeah.
And it was actually quite difficult because DD Crow did a lot more than what the text implied. It's like, I'm banishing your target from the graveyard, so that has extra interactions of things getting missed. Anyway, let's talk about this game.
Wow.
We're going to be seeing Greg going with, is that a double reincarnation light stage start?
Yeah.
Oh, that could
so.
just could be it right there.
Wow.
That's a ton of damage if he decides to flip it. I think Greg is just running the math now. Does he let him play?
Yeah, I think it is a. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it's double reincarnation.
Is
double
let him
Lycoris.
play? Hold on, that's 6.
I don't think that's enough. I think you need 3 Lycoris to be.
Is it 3
for
Lycoris?
2 reincarnations, or it's 3 of one and 2 of the other. I think is enough with light stage. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the exact math. I never do math on stream. It always ends up bad.
Yeah, it's a lot of pings.
It's a lot of damage. Let's put it that way.
6 cards, then another 6. Oh, it's infinite permanence. It's not double. Okay, that's why. I thought you had the.
It's a good point. No, I saw a trap card and I just assumed it was reincarnation.
I'm pretty sure you got it. I'll do the numbers after the game. I think pretty sure that double reincarnation 2 Lycoris gets you there.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially since he took 800 at the start of his turn, just for drawing this opening card.
Yeah.
So that'd be 72, and then he just got to figure out the 2 reincarnations, drawing 6 cards, which is 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, then 800.
It's only 56 plus 800, so it's only like 64 damage.
Alright, so it's not quite there.
Yeah, I think you need. I think it is three of one or 3 of one and 2 of the other.
Yeah. If you had the third one, then you've got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
but it was impermanent.
It was impermanent, yeah. So we're fantasizing over an imaginary situation. Stop letting me rabbit hole, Luke. That's not going to get us through the weekend.
Let's focus on these people dancing on the stage. So yeah, Callie played around the draw combo essentially. That's what's allowing him to continue being part of this game. You can tell that he's played a lot of this deck because he seems to be doing it really naturally. He's just setting all of this stuff.
And honestly, if you're serious about winning this tournament, there's no way that you could not have played this matchup. It's just it is that popular and it is that powerful. It has to be a part of the main part of your gauntlet to getting ready for one of these events.
Yeah, we always talk about the gauntlet. I don't think we've ever explained what we mean by the gauntlet.
So essentially, here goes your reincarnation. I think that's 5 cards hand. Oh, hold on, he's got a whole grip. If he gets drolled here, that could be an issue. Does he have the Ash Blossom? That's the question.
I don't think there was a drawl for Greg, but he may have drawn one. We've not seen it. Hard to say. I kind of see a monster, but I don't know which one it is.
Oh, he's going to drop. Kali's going to come straight in with the double Lycoris to dodge the reincarnation because that could have been pretty interesting.
Yeah. I'm unsure as to whether he's got draw or not.
Yeah, 1, 2.
Don't think he does. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. But
so Callie drew. I saw an Ash Blossom, but I couldn't see the other 2 cards. This is still a reasonable amount of damage here. If he's able to get rid of Greg's Lycoris, which Desires will help with.
Yeah, that puts Kali back in the game. He wasn't ever out of the game, but it gives him such a strong position to be going for him, and he gets to make the attacks with only engraved Trickstar reincarnation to really worry about.
He's continuing to take these small amounts of damage though, so if he's not able to close the game out quickly, Greg may be able to come back and...
Yeah, Greg will definitely have his window if it goes on, but I'm pretty sure Kali's going to be able to set something up pretty strong here. No, he banished Shed Ride, Scapegoat, and I wasn't fast enough to catch the rest of those.
2 Phantom Sky Blasters, Trickstar Reincarnation, double Scapegoat.
2 Scapegoats, oh, okay. And how many Sky Blasters did you say? Just 1? 2? That's interesting. A lot of Kali's superpower plays getting banished by that Pot of Desires.
Yeah.
The question of whether or not he's going to be able to play an extended grind game against Greg, should it go that long, is going to be a lot harder.
Yeah. He's Candina. Who's going to get ashed?
Yes, that's incredibly strong. The Ash Blossom on the Candina, because it eats away the opponent's normal summon.
Yeah. And generally, if they don't have a Lycoris, to bring it back to the hand safe, to the safe place that is the hand.
Well, you've also, especially if your opponent's playing the Sky Striker stuff, they can't use any of the Sky Striker stuff after they've got a Candino stuck in their main monster zone.
Yep.
So here's an Holy Angel. A lot of players actually questioning this card at the moment, saying that they don't feel too strong about it.
I've never been a huge fan of Holy Angel.
But it does get empty up the main monster zone should Greg have some Sky Striker shenanigans to play. Okay, we're going to be seeing the Light Stage being banished to bring back the Candina. That's going to get the search this time, and that also, if I remember, Holy Angels, every time a Trickstar summoned to a zone it points to, it shoots your opponent.
For some amount of damage, yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's 200, and then whenever damage is inflicted, its attack will increase by the amount of damage. But Luke will just give us a text for that one.
Yeah, so you take 200 damage. Trickstar monsters that pointed to can't be destroyed by battle card effects, and if your opponent takes damage by a Trickstar monster effect, it gains the amount of damage that they took.
Right.
Only until the end of the turn, though.
Okay, yeah. And we've got Light Stage in play as well, so these attacks are actually getting bigger.
Yeah, I mean, as I said last turn, Callie's taking just, small chunks, but he's, getting close to... I mean, last game we saw Greg was able to put quite a lot of damage on the board, like 4,300 in one turn. So.
Yeah, Kali's, a lot of his super power plays got taken out by his own Pot of Desires.
Yeah.
He does still seem to have all the Sky Striker grinding components still intact in his deck.
Yeah, well, I didn't see much of those. I think there was just one that got banished.
Oh yeah, that's Jamming Waves, it looks like.
Yeah, Jamming Waves.
Greg setting 2 cards. Interesting. Did Greg not use his Light Stage to lock up the opponent's back row?
Don't think so. Maybe he's just that scared of Waking Dragons.
Well, because he's sending it to the graveyard. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I possibly just forgot. I mean, Light Stage just so much for you that it's easy to forget that.
But it seems like super strong in this format to be able to, and I don't imagine, like, especially when you consider that Greg did quite comfortably go for the Phoenix play last game. That Waking the Dragon was not something he was thinking about. And
yeah,
actually, I'd have to double check the one. I'm pretty sure that if you Light Stage the Waking the Dragon, it doesn't actually go off.
Okay. Oh, is it only destroyed? Is it only if it's destroyed?
Is it destroyed or banished?
Oh, okay, definitely not then. Yeah. Yeah. So there was no real reason to be worried about that, unless Greg doesn't know about that particular ruling.
Nah, there's no way he invested in this deck and then didn't know that. He probably has a reason for it, but he's now left his monsters again in attack mode, and he's got an 1800 monster. So we're going to see Lilybell coming up. Lilybell being special summoned by its own effect. When it's added to hand, you get to special summon it.
Yeah, which is pretty nice. Pretty free. Freebies are always nice.
I think it looks like there's a Light Stage, Ash Blossom, and Drawn Lockbird in Kali's hand, so Kali is not going to be able to get to a Firewall, I don't believe, unless it's face down card.
It's some kind of miracle.
Yeah, Kali might just be lacking the power in this situation.
Cali's
Yeah,
just going through his options here.
Yeah, considering his link options. He's not in a comfortable position, that's for sure. Quick check of his opponent's graveyard. Yeah, gonna... Oh, he can't destroy his monster by battle, and he's just rammed the Candino
That is rough.
straight into his opponent's Candino. Again, as we said, like Holybell getting dropped from people's decks, not respecting it, and now
Holy
Kali may
Angel's
have just thrown a resource out.
Yeah, he absolutely did. That is super rough. Oh dear.
Okay. Yep, and you see Callie, go ahead. Oh, no, oh, there's a scapegoat in the
wow.
phase end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Callie
Call
just
it.
picking his cards up. Oh, that, yeah.
He's not going to do that again.
Yeah, that's the only time that's going to happen to him in the tournament, that he attacks into a linked
pointed at. Yeah. I love that over the course of the years I've had so many discussions about that particular thing, about like playing 1 obs, playing 2 obs, playing 3 obs, and how, you know, in some cases there are cards that you don't want to draw. Like I'm going to go a real throwback to the Harpy deck. So Harpy's Pet Dragon was a card that you played in your deck and you never ever ever wanted to draw it, ever. You never wanted to see that card unless you were summoning it from Channeler.
Yeah.
And if, you know, there's cards like that, but yeah, there's stuff like Soul Charge where you're playing it at the same ratio, just 1 card, but you always want to see Soul Charge.
Yeah, like it just wins the game by itself. I mean, it's weird for me because the logic has changed over the years, but like I remember the days when you played Reinforcements of the Army and many one-off warriors for very specific situations. Yeah. And you're playing your triple Reinforcements of the Army for DD Survivor. You had things like Exiled Force that you take for a certain very particular situations, and of course that
DD
kind
Warrior
of thing.
Lady.
Yeah, exactly. DD Warrior, if you were lucky enough to get those out of the tournament packs. But it's just, the logic has changed over the years. And of course, Pot of Desires and those kinds of decks, it completely changes the deck building fundamentals when you start adding Pots of Desire. And interesting for people wondering how many Pots of Desire has been played, Greg actually not playing Pot of Desires on his list, whereas Kali is playing 2 copies. And some people argue, like, oh, why are you not just playing 3 of his cards? You want to see it every game. And the answer is, yeah, here we go, Shed Ride. We'll go into that in a second. It's just like, I never actually want to see more than 1 Pot of Desire as realistic. I want to play my first and banish the second. Because you're never resolving the third, you just don't have enough cards in your deck. But to go on with this match, Shared Ride is so strong in this match. It's basically the max C of the format if you get it off. And
card close to my heart. It was fantastic in the Necros format. So.
Oh, Shared Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just every time your opponent searches for a card, you get to draw a card. So that then makes your opponent's setup very, very awkward.
Yeah, just the same as Maxi, it gets quite scary because if your opponent keeps drawing cards, they might draw some of their hand traps.
Yeah, I mean that was the biggest change that happened to Maxi over the years. Was that originally what Maxi was drawing you was enough cards to win the game next turn. Now it was drawing, like nowadays it would be drawing you more and more interrupts in addition to cards that win the game.
Yeah.
See Greg being forced to pass it back with just 3 back row and a Lycoris in attack position.
Yep, all due to the Shed Ride.
Yep, and Kali now drawing his Ash Blossom gives him an act to that reincarnation that's been flipped. So if he likes his hand, yep, there we go. Ash Blossom off the top.
Okie dokie. So Kali's going to be able to play here. He started.
Yeah, Kali's, I don't know how many cards he's got in his hand now. I think he got 2 draws off of his Shed Ride.
Yeah. He's actually got a Phantom Sky Blaster, Lily Bell. He's got all the Trickstars. All the Trickstars and a Phantom Sky Blaster.
So interesting here, Kali is recognizing the possibility that Greg might have a second reincarnation and decides to set his field spell.
Yep.
Yep, there's a Scapegoat being chained.
Yep, and then hitting with the jamming waves.
And now we're going to be seeing Light Stage. That's also going to be able to tie down Greg's back row. Being able to force out Scapegoat is super good for Kali because it gives him an opportunity to clean it up before play gets back to Greg to actually make use of these Scapegoats. For Greg, it probably means he's not losing the game this turn, and he's forcing his opponent to commit resources into actually clearing them up. It's actually super interesting. Like a long time ago, Scapegoats actually was limited, I believe, and this is before you could do anything with the goat tokens. You essentially just used it for blocking attacks. You couldn't tribute something with them. And let's be honest, we weren't using Panther Warrior to tribute our goat tokens when attacking.
Oh, well, yeah, we were.
No. Alright, the players that were winning weren't doing that.
No.
So much.
I was using my Scapegoat tokens to summon Plasma. That's what I was using my Scapegoat tokens for.
Yes, incredibly strong.
Plasma and Dogma.
Actually, one of the tournament organisers owns a store, Mad for Miniatures. Vinny played him in a regional in the Dark Arms return format after the changes to the FNL is to reduce all the draw power out of the deck.
Yeah.
And he beat me with Destiny Hero Plasma. It's something I didn't see on coming on.
Plasma's awesome.
I just won a regional with a deck. I was super happy about that. First regional I ever won, and then Destiny Hero Plasma offered the scapegoats in my second regional. I made it to top 4, but yeah, Vinny, he wrecked me pretty hard on that one.
Yeah, Plasma is such a cool one. Yeah.
Not so much these days, but
no, not so much these days.
Back in the day.
I liked Blue D as well. Blue D is a cool Destiny hero.
Right.
It's a cool Destiny hero name.
Which one was that? Sorry?
That was the Japanese name for Plasma.
Oh, right. Okay. It was Blood.
His name was Blue D.
Was it? Oh. I just remember Plasma.
Yeah. So he's called Blue. Yeah, I think that's why it was localized to something else.
But then that doesn't explain Blood Matters, Luke. Can you at least have some consistency with localization?
Sorry. Plasma had a Blue D on his chest. That was the whole point. It doubled up. It was good. Anyway,
yeah,
we see a lot of tokens.
Yesteryear aside, we're just waiting for these players to figure out how they're going to play into this. We are only 10 minutes left on the round. I think that's enough time to see this match come to a conclusion before end of match procedures are applied.
Yeah, the new end of match procedure, in fact.
Yes, where play continues to the end of the phase, and then you compare the life points to consider who wins that duel, and then you do a check on the match wins. Seems to be a bit controversial in the community, the changes. But we got to a point where we needed to make some change to the end of match procedure. Tournaments were running excessively long.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're going to see reincarnation here.
Okay, just 2 cards being banished there, but 2 good ones by the looks of it.
Yeah, I didn't catch what they were, but I'm sure you guys back then could just...
Lilybell and something else. Yeah, we don't have the YCS tech, so we can see all the cards, but we just got to use our eyes.
I'm doing it old school.
Old school. So, I mean, Greg is looking fairly good on life points right now, but...
Yeah. And Greg, if Greg's getting to his turn with free scapegoat tokens, he can definitely start going to work.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Greg decides to continue with these. Yep, so he's going to make some...
I think he was borrowing Callie's scapegoat tokens.
Yeah, it was.
That's even worse. He's like, yeah, activate scapegoats. By the way, can I borrow your tokens to do this? And you're like, sure.
They're actual goat tokens, though.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Space Insulator, a new card that's just started appearing on people's...
He's got a cool name, Space Insulator. Yeah, I like Space Insulator. He looks cool.
Yeah, he has some cool interactions with topological bomb dragon and stuff like that. I think you can summon him back when you control when you make summon a Cyberus monster, right?
Yeah, so you can bring him back when topological summoned and put him straight in one of the zones to use the effect.
Yeah, the topological cards for the longest time not considered relevant, but topological bomber dragon, he hits pretty hard, like a truck actually.
Yeah, he's pretty big. So we see Ngrisu, World Chalice Warrior or something. I can't remember what his title is, but
yeah, there's actually looking at this now. Callie just has topological troops for Spain. He's not playing the Callie's not playing the topological bomber, and I also don't believe Greg is actually.
No. So the Ningirsu deals with Callie's Lycoris.
Hornet bit. Sorry, Hornet drones. Card is called Hornet drones.
Why do you call it Hornet bit, man? Is that what the community's renamed it to?
When you talk to players and people keep saying it, eventually it kind of sticks in your head and you're like, you know it's incorrect.
Yeah, so Hornet drones summons a token. Sky Striker Ace token. Can't be attributed, and if you've got more than the usual requirement of 3 spells in your graveyard, when it resolves, then the token's attack and defense becomes 1500. But it's just generally used for link material.
Yeah, you're essentially using it to summon Sky Striker, Kagiri, mostly.
Kagari.
Kagari, sorry. Did I say Kagiri? Kagari, yeah, sorry, my bad, guys.
Yeah, Kagari's pretty strong as well, because then you can just go get
Kali making a panic block with the
Reincarnation.
Reincarnation from the graveyard. Sayuja's just
Yeah.
attacking. Okay, so that was a Sayuja made with 2 materials and no special summon from hand. Now we're going to see Reincarnation getting up
Lycoris.
Lycoris saying going to get another 1600. And then
Yeah,
the draw.
Kali's getting pretty low here. Really low.
He's got 3 cards in hand, so he might be able to make. But if he's trying to conserve life with his Reincarnation, he's would he have lost it? Yeah, it would have been so low that he would.
It's not even worth playing against Trickstar with.
Oh no, that's what
like
I mean. You got to consider, right? If his opponent has no spells and traps, 28 plus 16. Oh yeah, he was going to be.
He would have lost. You can see he's on 27, so the Saryuja
Yeah,
would have
the
been game.
Saryuja would have been game. So yeah, he's forced to make that decision. You'd need to have like at least like 500 more life points.
Yeah,
So to then
the
consider,
very least.
Like, okay, do I go this low with the intent that I'm going to try and win the game next turn with my Reincarnation? But
Right, you have to, don't you?
again, but you've got Lycoris that just causes tons of trouble in that situation because you can't then use your search cards.
Yeah, and I was in my mind just then I was thinking, well, maybe you could have used Reincarnation and tried to block the attack from Lycoris, but that wouldn't work because Saryuja is giving it the extra boost as well.
Yeah, 300, so it's 1900 attack monster.
Again, back to the 1900 attack monsters.
Yeah.
Trickstar monsters just don't like 1900 attack monsters. Unless it's them.
Only 4 minutes left on the clock, so Kali needs to...
Yeah, needs to get a move on here. Yeah, so as we briefly explained earlier, for those who don't know about the new end of Match Procedure, we have changes been made so that as soon as the clock hits 0, the phase, whatever that may be the main phase, the standby phase, whatever phase you're currently in, that ends, and that is where you then compare life points and match wins, etc.
Direct attack from Lilybell. Lilybell's effect. Add back a Lycoris.
I see multiple Lycorises in Kali's hand here. Maybe he's going to be able to summon a few. Try and make some Exceed play.
He could Lycoris. The Lilybell hasn't been. I don't know if the Lilybell's added to his hand this turn, or if he normal summoned it.
Yeah, it's normal summon.
Oh, he normal summoned it yet. So now he gets to potential free link materials, and he gets another direct attack.
Yeah.
That's pretty good because that then lets him consider Unicorn as an ag to the Sayuja.
Yeah. Still, Kali's still taking life point damage here from the Lycoris on Greg's field. Why is okay?
Just going to trade those 2 off. And then he can get back his Lycoris.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the downside of Saryuja, obviously, being having that up arrow. So his effect to boost not only affects your monsters.
Yeah, I'm always got to be careful, especially if you do end up using a Kaiju as an act to one of your opponent's cards, and all of a sudden finding out that Kaiju's a bit bigger, and you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah, whoops.
it does that. See, Nightmare Goblin.
Yeah.
The extra normal summon.
There's a Candina in his hand.
He also has Phantom Sky Blaster. So there we go, that's going to be 2 monsters
That's
plus 2
pretty good.
tokens, and there you go, he's got himself some stuff to work with.
Yeah. Greg's having a quick read of Ash Blossom. There's really not a lot of time left on the clock here.
Yeah, Kali is probably...
I think Kali may lose.
I think Kali's going to lose this one. It's just...
He's spending a lot of time making his play here.
Yeah. I guess one of the things that he's looking for here is this optimum play versus most time-efficient play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kali's like, oh, what can I do here? Because the fastest play he could have made would have been to make the Unicorn and remove the Sayuja and say, okay, and then let's see if I get another turn to work with, because you've only got one card. Greg's only got one card in hand.
Yeah, calls it.
Yeah, Callie's just... but then I imagine the time pressure is also potentially stressing him out, so he's then trying to do it quickly and then constantly in a loop in his head where he's like, oh,
yeah,
does this
I need to
work?
do this quickly, yeah.
Does this play work? Hang on a sec, how much time have I got? Okay, what about this, what about this?
Let's talk a little bit more about that in our post-match discussion.